Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra on digital address GA0993341 on Joy 99.7 FM. Is also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across the country on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, Telesol 4G, proudly Ghanaian, Telesol, Just a Touch, and Makoto Parts Ghana, distributors of Isuzu and Chevy cars. Makoto Parts Ghana, with you for the long run. In this edition, 18-year-old student who witnessed the gruesome murder of his own father shares the grim details plus his own ordeal after sustaining multiple machete wounds.
He was calling somebody come for him, but there is no one. It is very sad because I know that whatever will end, I would die. So I wonder that today I'm still alive.
We'll bring you details as residents flee the towns of Tomfokrom and Insuta for fear of police action. Attorney General Gloria Kufu files response to court case challenging construction of a national cathedral, describing the suit as a misunderstanding of the character of Ghanaian secularism. We have exclusive details of the AG's legal argument in support of the state's quest to provide land and seed money for the edifice. Ghanaian doctor discovers new medical solution to high divorce rates blamed on societal pressure on infertile women.
We put the sperm around the eggs and then the lucky one will enter. The moment it enters, it closes up and then we take the supposed fertilized egg out of the concentrated sperm media.
The Joy News Health Desk brings you an exclusive delivery of the first baby from this discovery. And in sports,
match day for the Black Queens and the Black Maidens in their respective competitions in 20. We'll hear from their coaches on the plan going into their games later today.
And much later, Joy News' Justice Bedu wins at IFPPAR Health Journalism Awards in Kigali.
I am grateful to all the people who allowed me into their lives to tell this very important story of the hurdles that stand in the way of women.
We have all the details here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. Let's settle for the details now. And an 18-year-old senior high school student who witnessed the gruesome murder of his own father has been sharing details of the incident with Joy News. His father, a 59-year-old farmer, was attacked and killed while he accompanied the young man to school. He died instantly from the multiple machete wounds inflicted on him. The son, who survived the attack after sustaining some machete wounds himself, says it's a miracle he's alive.
At the time, I was standing and joking with my junior brothers, and my mother shouted on me that I should be hurry for preparing myself to go to school. And as I finished going, he gave me some 50 Ghana in my pocket. So at the time I sat on my father's motorbike when we are going, maybe about 2 minutes, I saw two people holding a high tension cable, and one of them put at the back of the cutlass and hit my father's hand, and the motorbike balanced him. He fell, and some were beating him with high tension cable, and some are also cutting his head. At the fact that they cut his head, they cut and they put him on his motorbike. And when they finished, they came on me.
Well, when they were cutting him, what was he doing? Was he struggling?
Yes, he was calling somebody come for help, but there is no one. It is very sad. If he's just going to bath, I just work with him, so we are very close. And when they came on me, they beat me. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm suffering.
So whilst they were cutting him, what was happening to you? Were you watching?
Yes, I'm watching. Because I know that whatever will end, I would die. So I wonder that today I'm still alive.
But in response to this attack, more than 5 police officers who visited the town to investigate the incident have come under gun attack, with some senior officers battling for their lives in hospital. The Asiwa district commander was shot around the neck and chest, prompting a beef-up of security in the Ashanti region. Our man, Erastus Asaridonko, has visited the towns of Tomfukrom and Insuta and reports scores of the residents have fled following the incident. He joins us now. Erastus, but before we look at the security situation in the town, tell us how the young man is faring after sustaining this multiple wounds himself.
Well, this is a physically disturbed young man, traumatized, and occasionally you find him sitting quietly with a hand to the chin. You could see it on his face. He's totally devastated. And he tells me he wants to write his BC. He's in a final year, a very good student. He wants to write his BC. The one who is supposed to register him is dead. So he needs help to register his papers, get some books, and get tuition. That's what he was telling me.
But is he able to identify those who did this to him and his father?
In fact, he mentions their names in the interview, the extended version of the interview. He has given those names to the police. And he says these are the families of his father, relatives of his father. He mentions them by name.
Now, Erastus, hold on a second. Let's hear the voice also of the wife of the deceased talking about their condition.
I'm planning to relocate from this place with my family. I'm scared the assailants might come and attack me again.
Now, Erastus, that's the wife of the deceased. How is she also faring? We were told that they have 7 children together. How are they faring?
In fact, if you have 7 mouths to feed, and the last one is just suckling your breast, and the only place you have livelihood is the area where you cannot stay because there are killers on the loose. And these are people who know you very well. That is the situation the woman finds herself at the moment. So he doesn't have money to feed the children, and he's perching in somebody's single room with all the children.
Now, let's talk a bit more about the security situation in Tomfukrom and in Suta. We know that the policemen that went there to investigate this particular matter came under attack, all sorts of attack, and leaving some in critical condition. What's the situation there? Because we heard earlier that residents are fleeing the town.
Exactly. We got to the Tomfukrom village around 6:30 in the evening. We found nobody, not a single soul in the village. In fact, if you see the utensils that have been left, you see that the people left in a hurry. And so there are chickens and goats and other domestic animals taking a field day in the town. Not a single soul is left there.
Now, let's finally talk about arrests. I'm told that 4 people have been arrested. Who are these individuals?
The 4 people who were arrested, initially we thought that some of them could be linked to this murder, but we are learning from the police that these were people who had mounted a blockade, and that led to the shooting of the district commander for Asiwa. So it's in connection with the shooting, but as to the murder itself, nobody has been arrested. And we are learning that these people who are suspected to have murdered the man are sending threatening messages to people who conveyed the boy to the hospital that they would deal with this gentleman.
And that has also been brought to the attention of the police, I guess so.
Yesterday, we advised the young man to file a formal complaint with the police. So we are hoping that he's done that today.
But he doesn't have any protection at all, as at the last time you spoke to him.
In fact, the victim himself, the 18-year-old boy, who is currently at risk of losing his life, has no protection. Even when he was at the hospital, there was no protection for him. And nurses had to complain because this is somebody who has witnessed a murder and he could be killed anytime. But where he is now, there is no protection for anybody.
Erastus Asaridonko there following this incident. Let's also speak to Ohim Interior because he's been following the commander that was shot and we're told that he's still in hospital. Let's check out his current situation. Ohim Interior, you've been following this commander and his progress in terms of speedy recovery or so. What is his current situation? What can you say about it?
Thank you, MFR. ASP Dennis Abuatin, the Esiwa District Commander who came under attack on Sunday, has been on admission at the Konfano Street Teaching Hospital's Accident and Emergency Center. Just this morning, my checks indicate that doctors are likely not to rush him to the theater any moment for now, because according to the doctors, the pellets are lodged in section of the neck that seems not to be dangerous, or that seems not to have affected tendons and veins around the neck area. So it's likely they will give him some antibiotics for the body to recuperate on its own and fight against these pellets that are lodged in the body. The fear is that if doctors go ahead to operate on him, the likelihood is that he may, the situation may worsen. So they will want to allow it to heal on its own.
Ohiming Teria there, and of course yesterday the Ashanti Regional Security Council were in a meeting, and they stated that security in the Ashanti region will be beefed up as a result of these attacks. But let's stay a while longer on police-related issues, because Chairman of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee, Seth Champong, says it's too early to condemn police persons in the Mansung Kwanta killing case, insisting a court of competent jurisdiction must pronounce them guilty first. A government investigative committee disclosed yesterday it found no evidence that the 7 Aswasi residents who were killed are armed robbers, despite earlier claims by police. Mr. Ichampon tells Joy News incident is an isolated one and the police shouldn't be judged wrongly.
We judge these issues on case by case. My last question is, and if we do not follow them case by case, we will be in the process and we could be at fault in just, mixing up the issues. For me, on this very Mansung Nkwanta issue, it is still work in progress, because they must be proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. These are the findings initial of a committee His Excellency the President has set up. And for me, it is the beginning of a journey. And it is one that I respect and I admire.
Now, on the shooting of police persons at Asiwa and Ejura by suspected criminals, Mr. Champong is urging the police to be careful not to retaliate.
These are criminals. The activity that went on, the actions which were effected, are criminal plans being deployed. So these are criminals, and when arrested, must be dealt with as criminals as such. Police service personnel trained must abide by their code of conduct and practice. The standard procedures of practice needs to be enforced, and people should always, I know in combat a lot of things happen, but that is why you are a force, and that is why you are a service, and that is why you are a professional. I know you do your best to support the service and the country at large for us to have a safe public environment. Kindly let us do the right things.
You heard the chair of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee there, Mr. Alexei Champong. Now, the Attorney General, Gloria Kufu, has described the court action challenging construction of a national cathedral as a misunderstanding of the character of Ghanaian secularism. She further states that a country that has for years observed principal religious celebrations as public holidays cannot be said to be the one that does not recognize the existence of a supreme being or God. These are contained in the AG statement of case signed by Deputy Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame. My colleague Raymond Akwa joins me in the studio with details. So Raymond, we understand the AG has an initial objection about whether there is an issue the court must deal with.
They're arguing that the plaintiff's case of action is not really before the Supreme Court, since there is no issue for interpretation in this particular matter, which is really the purview of the Supreme Court. In fact, they are insisting that the High Court has jurisdiction on all of these other matters, and they should choose to go to any of these other fora. In fact, they also want some form of advice be given to the plaintiffs that if they just want the Constitution to be applied in a particular way, which is not being done, and there is no real need for interpretation, the appropriate forum should be the High Court. They are maintaining that the provisions of freedom of religion, which he seeks to apply and they insist it's unjustifiably, in the circumstance of the instant action, are human rights provisions, which really does not require Supreme Court action. So the court should direct them to the right forum.
Well, now let's deal with the substantive case itself. Why does the AG believe the state can lend such support to the Christian community?
Okay, they are insisting that a country, this country, Ghana, that invokes the name of God in its pledge of allegiance and anthem, and regularly observes religious holidays as public holidays, and grants formal representation on constitutional bodies to specifically named religious bodies, cannot be said to be, described as a state of secularism that believes in that particular concept. In fact, they believe that secularism does not permit the government to make reasonable accommodation for religion. That is unreasonable to them. They finally submit that secularism in the context of the Ghanaian constitution must be understood to allow and even encourage state recognition and accommodation of religious and other identities in this particular case.
Now, the issue about Hajj pilgrimage also came up strongly in this case and how the state supports it. What really is the issue there?
They are insisting that the very nature of the support or aid that the state has given to two religious institutions, in this case, that is Christianity and also Islam, the filing of this suit cannot be used as vehicles for indoctrinating the citizenry, as is being argued by the plaintiff. It's also the AG's contention that in the absence of any policy to the effect that there is no risk of fostering any state religion through the kind of support that the state is giving these religious groups. They are also saying that the state has not adopted any policy or enacted any law which allows the state to provide support to any religious grouping, which endures and inures into some form of interference in the religious activities of the people. So the state cannot understand how anybody will say that merely because we are providing support, we are either discriminating or giving specialized services to groupings or making it a policy of state to do so.
And I believe in God finally also came up strongly in that.
Yes, the AG is arguing that even though there's no state religion in Ghana, no state church or state mosques, it is a fallacy to conclude that Ghana is a state which does not believe in the supreme being of God. It says recognition for the existence of a supreme spirit being is a way of life for the Ghanaian and understood in so many ways. The example it gives in this case is the preamble to the 1992 Constitution. I'm sure you know that part. In the name of God, it is referenced in your Constitution. It says the preamble forms part of the Constitution, which is the highest law of the land. So you cannot excuse yourself in saying that we have no belief or reference to God in our affairs.
Raymond Akwa there giving us the AG's response to a case in court challenging the building of the National Cathedral.
This is not the first time. This is not the second time. Ya kachira won say ma won nya filling station say wo fie. Omo ka say ye won. Omo train ni pa. Say gas station e ben ba bia ni pa dey won.
Sounds of angry residents of Kumasi who say a gas explosion at the Trinity gas station at Krofrom in the Ashanti region could have been avoided if regulatory bodies had enforced laws on siting of the station. A number of people injured. Earlier today, the explosion disrupted business in the busy town as about 6 container shops and 8 vehicles parked in the premises of the gas station all got burnt in the fire. Here's an eyewitness account.
We were in our room. We were preparing for work. And I said, car be here. We thought it was an aeroplane.
We heard some loud sounds outside our house. My mom told us to run out of the house because there was a leakage from the station. We have told them not to build a gas station near us.
No one should be allowed to build a gas station near homes or shops. They should all be demolished.
Meanwhile, the regional NADMO coordinator, Kwabna Insetre, says the impact of the explosion on the residents could have been avoided.
What I heard was that some people were working the pump that ignited to cause the fire, but we are yet to search for the appropriate information.
What has caused this thing to be here, even though there have been a lot of issues about it?
I myself have been here. I wrote to the assembly that this place is not appropriate for the gas station here, and I was waiting for a response that they should demolish all these places. So the bottom line is on the assembly. They have been empowered to do demolitions. So the bottom line is on them.
What is being done to solve this problem temporarily?
Even if the assembly or maybe the NADMO or the EP has issued information, we shall think about it. So we are now sending our various reports. So we shall think about it.
This is the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break. When we return, hope for childless couples right here in Accra.
I'll just sing the miracle.
I've been trying to get a baby over 12 years now. The new Ghana card is more than just a way to identify yourself. It opens you up to a world of benefits.
The sooner you register for your Ghana card, the closer you are to accessing a new world of secure transactions and services. The requirements to register are as follows:
a genuine birth certificate or a valid Ghanaian passport, and personal information such as the name of your parents or legal guardians, residential address, and your digital address code.
If you don't have a birth certificate or a valid Ghanaian passport, don't worry. One relative or two members of the community who have been registered and have received their Ghana card can vouch for you under oath. You will, however, need your digital address code. You will not be allowed to register without it.
Any person who provides false information during this process is liable to prosecution, leading to the payment of a fine and/or serving a jail term.
Watch out for registration details in the media and the national identification team in your community. Make sure you register for your Ghana card.
Ghana card, connectivity, access, and progress.
It's Industrialization Week, and on the Joy Business Van, I'm with the CEO of local food processing company, Limex. You've got the yam flour, the plantain flour, the banku mix,
Hausa cocoa, palm cream, palm nut cream soup.
Okay.
The Joy Business Van with the CEO of Limex Foods, John Mante, this Wednesday on TV, radio, online, and on the ground. It is powered by Joy Business and supported by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Let's go,
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Benedict has sports.
Yes, I'm fine. It's match day for both the Black Queens and the Black Maidens. The Black Queens are playing in the African Women's Cup of Nations, which is currently ongoing here in Ghana. And then the Black Maidens are in the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in Uruguay. They play their third game this evening, and the Black Queens, they will play their second group game, and hopefully they will be hoping to, continue what they started on Saturday, where they defeated Algeria by a goal to 0. This afternoon they're up against Mali, and a win for the team will see them make the next stage of the competition. Coach Bashir Hayford is hoping to achieve that feat.
So I'm not doubting that. People are also saying that Cameroon is a threat towards the best team. Fine. Others are also saying it's Ghana. Probably some are also saying it's Mali. Others are saying it's the other. So everybody's perception is there. But me as a coach, because my job is to train for people to come and deliver, I don't fear any club. I don't fear any nation. I don't fear any national team. So those who have the perception, fine.
All right, so that's Coach Bashir Hayford, coach of the Black Queens team. MFI is free gate.
We'll be there 3:30.
So we have to be there. Can't
gate. Afford to miss
it.
And
the second group game will kick off at 8:30. That's going to be between Cameroon and Algeria. So the Black Maidens also will be in action later tonight, and they will be hoping to make it 3 out of 3 wins as they face New Zealand in their last group game. Let's hear from their coach Evan Sadote, who wants to keep their perfect start.
Mukarama scoring as many as 4 goals and Milot 2 goals is still nothing to me. What I'm saying is, apart from maybe Ghana going out of the competition, I have nothing to say. But since we are in the competition, I'm urging them to keep on fighting.
All right, so that was Evan Sadote. It was a great weekend for the national teams, Black Stars, Black Queens, Black Maidens. Let's hope it will be a great day for the two women's team.
Thank you very much, Benedict Owusu. Now, the NPP government pats itself on the back for being able to ensure constant electricity supply in the country. But lately, there are complaints about power outages in various communities, at least here in Accra. Today, Gridco, supplier of power to the Electricity Company of Ghana, has issued a statement explaining the many outages. Joseph Akable is a member of the Energy Desk here at Joy News and joins me in studio with details. Tell us more about this, Joseph.
So the statement released by Gridco a short while ago states that they wish to inform the general public of power supply challenges experienced yesterday, November 19, 2018, during the peak periods between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. It continues that it was as a result of sudden drop in gas pressure at Abuadzi, which caused a reduction in power generation from the west. Gridco had to call on other thermal plants in Tema to restore full power supply. It goes on to say that they are assuring the general public that there is enough generation to meet power demand. We are working on all power generators to ensure continuous supply to all customers and will keep the public informed of further developments. They will apologize for the inconvenience caused, and it goes on to say that thank you for your patience and cooperation.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Of course, we'll get to interrogate this matter further in our subsequent bulletins. But she was kicked out of her marital home by the man she's been married to for 12 years. Her crime? She never became pregnant during that period. 49-year-old Baba is one of the many Ghanaian women facing this kind of ordeal. Many are unable to help themselves because medical treatment is prohibitively expensive. But there's some good news. Right here in Accra, a Ghanaian doctor is providing a new affordable medical solution that makes it possible for every woman to have children. The Joy News Health Desk was giving exclusive access as Baba gave birth to what she calls her miracle baby. Kujo Yankson is our man on this beat.
I feel so happy and I'm grateful to God. I'm so much happy.
Meet Baba, not her real name. After being kicked out of a childless marriage and going through the finality of menopause, Baba had given up all hope of having a baby until now.
I'll just sing the miracle.
This medical miracle was made possible by the crack team at the All Faith Medical Center in Weija. Clinical embryologist Isaac Kofi Edu explains how the All Faith Medical Center can make a mother out of a menopausal woman without a husband and without a hope.
When they walk in here, we do the semen analysis, we do all the other hormonal tests for the woman, and we do the semen analysis for the man. Now, seeing the volumes, the quality, the quantity, the count of the sperm, it's able to help us decide which of the methods we can use for this particular couple who have come to us. You put the eggs in a dish, and then you put the sperm around the eggs. You leave it for natural selection to take. So the eggs are going to be digested by the sperm, and then the lucky one will enter. The moment it enters, it closes up, and then within a period of 4 hours to 6 hours, we take the supposed fertilized egg out of the concentrated sperm media. We put it into the incubator, wait till the morning. We assess the fertilization of these eggs that we put together with the sperm. Those that are not well, we take them off. Those that are good, we leave it in the incubator for them to continue the journey.
The cost of these treatments are prohibitively expensive. Head of the fertility team, Dr. Atto, explains why that is not the case at the All Faith Medical Center.
If you are very efficient, you should be able to use less dosage medication to achieve the same results. And then we try to reduce how many people work around us.
The birth of 49-year-old Baba's miracle baby heralds hopeful mothers and childless couples into an era of moderate-priced medical miracles for the masses.
I've been trying to get a baby over 12 years now, and today it's a reality. I thank God so much.
Some good news there, right here in Accra. Joy News journalist Justice Bedu has won the Best Television at this year's African Journalist Family Planning Reporting Awards in Kigali, Rwanda. His television story on the myths surrounding the use of contraceptives in parts of Ghana was adjudged the best story of all TV stories received from across Africa. The award ceremony was held in the presence of more than 3,000 global policymakers and researchers, young people and family planning advocates from around the world at the 5th International Conference on Family Planning, ICFP, in Kigali.
I am grateful to all the people who allowed me into their lives to tell this very important story of the hurdles that stand in the way of women and accessing contraceptives in parts of Ghana. Estimates now show that in Ghana, for example, we are now adding up to about 800,000 people to our population every year. How are we sustainably planning for the development and growth of these new numbers that we are adding on every year?
Justice Baidu, congratulations once again, and it keeps getting better. More and more awards for Joy News. Now, before we go, the United Kingdom government broke their own rules to ensure my deportation. That's according to former UBS banker Kweku Aduboli, who was removed from the UK last month under what he describes as crude and undignified circumstances. And we'll check out what's trending on social media as we bring you more of that exclusive interview in our subsequent bulletins. What's trending on social media, Fifi?
Yes, a lot is happening. But, you know, today is World Children's Day, and there's this one on Twitter saying, today is World Children's Day. Did you know that every 5 minutes a child dies as a result of violence? Millions more children bear the marks of violence forever.
And it's International Children's Day, and happy International Children's Day to all the children out there. Be you and make sure you become who you want to become. And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Emefa Apo. When you log on to myjoyonline.com, there's more news there. Have a good afternoon.
That's the sound of my heart breaking the first time.